Good morning. In our today's class, we are going to learn about few more infectious diseases. So we'll start our session with the first disease, that is Ascariasis. It is a infection of small intestine, and its causative organism is a worm, that is a roundworm. The common name is roundworm and the zoological name is Ascaris lumbricoides. Now this is the infection of small intestine, where the symptoms involve the abdominal pain, worms in stool, vomiting, intestinal blockage, blood in stool. So these are the common symptoms of the disease that is Ascariasis. Now you can see here the symptoms are listed in the slide. Now let us see how the infection can be prevented. The infection can be prevented by not coming in contact with a night soil or a human fecal matter, by keeping the proper hygiene, washing off your hands with soap and water before and after handling the food. These are the basic hygienic habits that are going to help you to prevent this infection. Now our next disease that we are going to learn about is the malaria. You have known malaria. This is a very common fever. It is basically caused by plasmodium, that is the pathogen, and it is transmitted by Anopheles female. So Anopheles female mosquito is the vector. Now here are few different type of parasites that are given: Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium malariae and Plasmodium ovale, which are causing the different types of malaria. Plasmodium falciparum is the most severe form because it causes the malignant malaria that affects the brain of the person. Now let us see the life cycle of the mosquito, or let us see the life cycle, how the plasmodium moves from one individual to another individual. Now when the mosquito bite the human, it ingests the gametocytes, and then these gametocytes enter. Now you see here in this figure. Now when a person is being bitten by the Anopheles mosquito, then the infectious form, that is the sporozoites, enter the body of the healthy person, and from there they are going to liver. In the liver, these parasites, that is the plasmodium, multiply, and after multiplication they gets into the red blood cells. Now in the red blood cell, they start causing the bursting of RBCs. As a result of bursting of RBC, the chemical is released that is known as hemazoin, and this hemazoin is responsible for chilling fevers, which is the most common symptom for the malarial fever. Now this is the asexual cycle that is getting completed in the human host, and when the mosquito bite the unhealthy person, then these gametocytes enter the mosquito through the salivary gland. It reaches the stomach, and from salivary gland they go again they get into the sexual cycle, and sporozoites are formed, and these sporozoites are again stored in the salivary glands of the Anopheles female. When this Anopheles female again bite the healthy person, the infection spreads from unhealthy person to healthy person. So Anopheles female is basically the vector that is helping in transmission of pathogen, that is plasmodium, from unhealthy person to healthy person. Now let us look out for the symptoms of the malaria: the chill, the muscle pain, anemia, diarrhea, vomiting, headache, sweating, high fever. The chilling fevers are the most characteristic symptom of malarial fever, where the individual experiences a shivering with the fever, and then profuse sweating, the fever comes down. This is because of release of chemical that is known as hemazoin, which is released when the RBC burst. Now let us look out for the prevention and the cure. So it is caused basically by the mosquito bite, so we can use the insecticides, we can use the cloths that cover most of the part of the body, then we can use the mosquito repellents, we can use the mosquito creams. So these are basically, the fumigation should be done because basically this disease spread during the monsoon season when the mosquito breeding season is there. So this remains common along with the dengue fever, that is prevention and cure. Now the next disease that you are going to learn today is the ringworm. It is a fungal infection and this appear in the form of red patchy skin where the individual experience lot of itchiness. So here are the symptoms that are seen in the case of ringworm: red, itchy, scaly patches, then blisters are there. Sometimes the blood also comes out, the patches become swollen. So these are the basically the symptoms for the ringworm. The ringworm is basically caused by the fungi, that is Trichophyton, Mycosporum and Epidermophyton. Now next let us see the prevention. The best prevention is proper hygiene. Do not share the articles that are being used by the person who is having the infection. Wear the dry cloths, cotton cloths, keep the skin dry, move to a good doctor and take the proper medication that is been prescribed by the doctor. So these are the infections that are basically spreading, and that is the infectious disease we are dealing with. Now the last is the chikungunya. Now the word chikungunya means to walk bent. The major symptom includes the fever and the joint pain, and the best way to diagnose chikungunya is the blood test. The most common symptoms include the fever which can go beyond 104 degree Fahrenheit, joint pain, headache, muscle pain, rash, swelling around the joints. Now since this is also caused by the mosquito bite, that is why the prevention can be by sleeping in the mosquito net, using the cloths that cover the majority part, using the insecticides and mosquito coils. So these are the 4 diseases that we have learned today, and their causative organisms, their prevention and cures. Basically this question comes for 3 marks. Any one disease can be asked. You see the video, and in case of any doubt or any query you can contact. For details you can refer NCERT also. Thank you.